Hey, what's up? It's Rick Dees in the morning. Right now, Vendog.
3, 2, 1.
Access granted.
Vendog Radio Live starts right now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vendog Radio Live. If you are on YouTube, please do like, share, subscribe, put it out in the troposphere. Thank you guys so very, very much. We need to put this thing as far out as possible. We need to push out the truth 10,000%. And before I go any further, I want to let anyone know that are trollers on the channel. If you come to our channel and troll, my moderators will put you into Deep Space Nine. And as a matter of fact, if you leave derogatory comments, they will be deleted and you will be blocked. All right. I'm just getting sick and tired of all the nonsense, and we're not having it here on this channel. All right. This is a channel where we learn and grow together. And if you don't like that, then tough on you. All right. If you are on X, formerly known as Twitter, please hit the follow switch, repost, put it out there. If you are on Getter, GETTR, thank you to Jason Miller, the entire Getter front office staff, for blasting it out on Getter's front page. It does get better with Getter for some reason. It's crazy. All right. If you are on the infamous Rumble, man, I don't know, man. Rumble seems to throttle me a lot, man. I guess, if it's owned by the oligarchs, what do you expect, right? All right. Rumble's doing me dirty like YouTube. Crazy. All right. Hit it up at Vendog Radio USA on Rumble, and it's going to be pushed out to iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, TuneIn Radio, and wherever you shall download, broadcast, or podcast. All right. Coming up after the break, as a matter of fact, it's going to be a good one. Yeah, buddy. We're going to talk about how the demons in the system are trying to take over our women and children, and we're not standing for that. And you know who's joining me on the other side, right, guys? Yeah, my bro Dean's going to join me. All right. Thank you for watching and listening to Vendog Radio Live. We will be right back after this.
Follow us on all of the socials at Vendog Radio. We'll be right back with more Vendog Radio Live after this.
Sir, yes, sir!
Will you look me in the eye?
Can you look me in the eye and tell me that I shouldn't be alive?
Can you tell me that I didn't deserve to survive?
One reality binds us together.
One event we all share.
One choice tried to steal our lives.
But we survived.
We are the survivors of choice.
We are the faces of choice.
I am the face of choice.
I am that choice.
Nevin! Just like Nevin. Yes, Nevin sunglasses are the best, guys. Neveneyewear just sent me these. These are the steel blue. I'm telling you, it is ready for you and your crew. Click the link below or the QR code. Buy some glasses, man. You can buy one and get two free with a special gift. Nevin. Oh, yeah, look at my thermometer.
If you felt led to support the broadcast, there are 3 ways that you can help: Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal at Vendog Radio. Thank you for your support and God bless. Going to the merch store is another way to support the Vendog Radio Network. VendogRadio.myspreadshop.com. That's VendogRadio.myspreadshop.com. Thank you for your support in advance, and may God bless you.
Now, back to the man on a mission for the King of Glory, Jesus Christ. Vendog Radio.
Well, welcome back to Vendog Radio Live. What's up, Brother Dean?
Hey, hopefully you can hear me. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you and the AC unit.
Oh, well, I'm sorry about that. I got to have the fan blowing. The humidity is like 130% today, and it's like, 80 to some degrees, and storming outside. So, yeah, I have to have airflow or I'm not going to survive. So, I'm sorry about that.
No. You know what? We're having that problem too, man. We put the AC on full blast at 8 a.m. this morning.
Let me see if I can put echo cancellation on and not totally lose the microphone.
Yeah, please don't lose the microphone.
Okay, how about now? Is that better?
Whoa, you sound like 1,000% better on that.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm always hesitant to do that because
I know the hesitancy seems to be there for that, right?
Yeah. Hey, and you ask how I'm doing. You know what? Goodness, I tell you what. It's been a rough 24 hours for me. If I get a little out of sorts today, guys, it's because my nerves are just shot, and I'm surprised I made it through the show just modding and not totally exploding. At people with James, but today.
Hey, I'm still gonna put that in the system that you sent me yesterday.
Oh yeah, play. That was funny. I mean, I was just being silly.
I'm gonna add that to my keypad.
Yeah, well, I can do any kind of stupid stuff that you want to see. How's everybody else doing is really the question. How are you doing, Vindog?
Oh, man, Dean, you know what, man? I am so thankful to the Lord that I'm at 100%. I was out for the count, man.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. So, we just so many people going through so many things, as usual. Just the attacks are constant,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to give my buddy a shout out from Utah, man. Steve, he's planting trees over in St. George on his property, and he says that he's planting tomatoes as well, and everything is going according to plan as far as his gardening is concerned.
Okay, well that's awesome.
Yeah.
What's not going to plan then? What's the bad news? Is there a downside? I hope not.
He's like, man, he goes, man, I'm homesteading just in case they cut us off.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's not a bad idea if you can do it. So,
yeah. Every time I garden, something always, comes and takes it away, like a gopher per se.
Uh-oh, a gopher?
Yeah,
that's not good.
Yeah. And I did want to do it like, there's this one movie that's an old movie where the guy tried to get rid of the gopher by blowing up the gopher hole. Remember?
Oh, yeah, that's Caddyshack. That's a classic.
Yeah, my wife's like, you can't do that, or I will have to deal with you personally. I'm like, oh, I don't want that kind of trouble.
I mean, it is almost the 4th of July. Look.
Let the M80 fly.
I know what y'all are like out there in California, or I should say the older generation, myself included, 30, 40 years ago plus here now. Look, I had a friend was giving me a ride one day, and down the I-5, going back down to San Diego. I was going to drop me off at the base. And he just all of a sudden decided, because the freeway wasn't, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I-5 is not always been a crowded parking lot.
No, it's never been that way up until like the 90s.
Yeah, well, that was well after I was there. I was in early 80s, but early to mid 80s. But halfway on our drive, he's just decides to pull something out of the glove box. He's like, hand me that thing in there in the glove box, and I handed it to him, and he lights it up, and I'm like, what the? He's throwing, you know what an M80 is?
Yes. You got in trouble in elementary school for bringing one.
Yeah. Well, he was throwing quarter sticks, not M80s.
Oh no,
quarter sticks.
That's almost like throwing dynamite.
Dude, that's what it was. I mean, it was the dumbest thing. But if you can imagine driving down I-5 and this guy that you know for maybe a couple years just decides to pull his quarter stick out of the glove box, light it up, and throw it out the back.
Hey, and here are the words that you probably said. Dynamite!
Yeah, well, it was something that sounded not so similar to that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
So I mean, if you happen something goes off in the backyard or out in the yard where you have the place where you have something to plant, you could just say somebody was celebrating the 4th of July a little early.
Yeah, we do have a bit of a fireworks display on the 4th of July.
Do you?
Yeah.
I can't imagine because I've seen videos of LA area, and it's like you have nothing. You could if you were able to, let's put it that way, because I know you people are not able to, but if you were able to, you could almost imagine a person walking across LA on top of the fireworks level.
Yes, pretty much. That's why I'm glad I don't live out in the city of Hell Angeles.
I know, but still, I remember back in the day. Again, this is back when I was out there and I lived in a condo up in Del Mar, just north of San Diego, along the beach area.
Hey, you weren't too far from where I live right now.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
We'll just say parts unknown, California.
Wow, I thought you lived north of LA, not south of LA. Wow. Jeez. Okay. Well, anyway, so anyway, we actually had people that they didn't realize their level of stupidity. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And they were shooting off fireworks too close to condos, and they literally caught one on fire. It wasn't me, believe it or not. It was not me. Done some silly things, but it was not me. But they actually caught one of the condos on fire, one of the tri-level condos. Mm-hmm. As you're going, used to be along the beach road, the beach highway there,
right.
the coastal highway, going from out of La Jolla down up into Del Mar. You basically had a huge hill going down and a huge hill coming back up, and there was nothing between that housing area where there are all these tri-level condominiums,
mm-hmm.
and La Jolla. It was a marsh, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, this is a long time ago. This is between Del Mar, La Jolla, and I-5. The exit at I-5 right there was a Denny's on the east side of the I-5. There wasn't nothing else in there. There was one little convenience store on the Del Mar side of that area. It was all, but now it's all built up. You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't, if you'd seen it back then and not gone back, you wouldn't recognize it. Because I didn't when I was out there the last time.
Yeah,
which was late 90s before I went to back onto active duty. But anyway, enough. I know you got a show to do. What do you want to talk about, Van?
Oh man, but you know what? Before we get to talk about the crazy stuff, how about if I play this AI generated video of the lizard Karen Bass on The Price is Right?
You've been mayor of Los Angeles through some of the worst fires in history, and the city burned while you were in Africa instead of putting out flames. Let's see what you've won. Congratulations! You've won this brand new fire truck, since apparently nobody in LA could find one while the city was on fire.
Oh, I deserve this. I mean, I handled the LA fire so well, a little water never hurt anybody.
There you go, Karen. Now you finally know how to use a fire hose. Better late than never.
That's just perfect.
Is that classic right there? That's the new classic right there.
Honestly, though, I did expect to see, a new prison jumpsuit come out of, with behind bars and something like a free vacation to this exotic lockup detention center for her. But that's funny. That's hilarious.
That would have been kind of funny. A trip to solitary confinement.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I would have went for that, but I'd take the real version of her going to solitary confinement.
Would be nice. Have you have you heard the controversy that what Spencer Pratt, is it Pratt? Spencer Pratt came out with?
Spencer Pratt. Yeah.
But I mean, like, dude, if you don't come out with something now, you got to come out. If he's got something, he's got to come out with it.
Yeah. He's got to put it on the table now.
Yeah.
Don't wait. Because we know what happens to those that wait.
Yeah.
We just won't say it out loud.
Yeah. They're going to a place where they play with double hockey sticks.
Yeah, double hockey sticks. Yeah, those things kind of hurt too.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's nuts, man. I just had to start off with that, guys. A little something funny to lighten up everything that's about to pop off right now. So this lady was being followed, and she noticed that a van parked close to her car. Watch this.
Okay, so this happened to me today. I went to go to Walgreens to pick up some stuff, and then I come out and I noticed this big old van parked right up next to me. It's like, look at all that space. He could have parked anywhere.
You are absolutely not being paranoid. If you go into a mall, a restaurant, a shopping center, and you come out and you see a vehicle, especially a large van like that lady saw, parked right next to you when you have plenty of parking spots. If you come out of wherever you're coming from, okay, and a vehicle, let's just use these cars for example. They have all these spots to park in, but they park right next to you. Listen to me, here's the plot. What they're gonna do is they're probably gonna do something, and then what I've noticed is they will drop a $10 bill right next to your door, okay? And if you're not aware of your surroundings, what they're gonna do, you're gonna come down here, you're gonna bend down to pick it up, and they've got you. They're gonna slide open that door to that van, they're gonna grab you in seconds, and then the driver is gonna be driving off. Always be thinking, be aware of your surroundings. This lady was aware. It doesn't matter if you're overreacting. It's the thought it could happen. That's all.
That's nuts, bro.
All I got to say is the white, the melon challenged Mr. T there is absolutely correct. Is that the right word, melon?
Yes, melanin challenged Mr. T.
Yeah, you know what I mean. The white Mr. T.
Mr.
T. I pity the fool. I pity the fool.
Oh man, you know, when he was going into the Wrestling Hall of Fame, he's like, man, my mama, I like to thank my mama. My mama did everything for me. That's why I became the man I am today, because of my mama. And I pity the food that was my mama.
Yeah. But look, you especially, unfortunately, not all women are incapable. Of course, that's not the point I'm trying to make here. But as a female in our society, you have to pay attention. You have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to know the kinds of things. I mean, look, you got to trust your instincts, but you got to be paying attention. And physically, you may not be capable or physically able to defend yourself. So you have to use your brain, and you have to pay attention to what your gut's telling you. If it doesn't look right, don't let your ego or your, you don't want to look silly kind of thing get in the way, because look, this stuff goes on all the time. And I mean, I could tell you stories upon stories about things that I've seen over the years. It's just you got to pay attention. You got to protect yourselves. And when look, again, it doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. If you're one against three attackers, and you basically are not paying attention because your nose is in your phone, or you're just, there's nothing potentially wrong with what's going on. I'm not going to be suspicious. No. You need to be suspicious and pay attention. You need to know what's going on around you. And even if there's nothing, I'd rather you look like a silly,
goose
because you were concerned about something, then you end up disappearing, or and whatever happens, kind of thing, God forbid. But yeah, you got to pay attention. People don't, that guy, the white Mr. T, it's unlikely, it's highly unlikely that someone's going to try to capture him, unless they're offering up free pew-pews and ammo to go with it. He probably won't. He probably won't get into that that van. You're probably not going to get him in that van, right? But just be aware.
Yeah, big time. And plus, I think that you have to think from a visually impaired person's perspective. Like, if we have this intuition that the person that's coming toward us is not cool, we actually move. We try to have that distance thing, with the hand, like stay your distance kind of thing. That's what I do to a lot of people. Like, some people be like, "Hey, man," I'm like, "Hey, bro, can you stand back? I don't know you like that, bro. Stand back." And that's one of the things I learned when I was taking self-defense as well. When I was learning jiu-jitsu from my brother's school, and also they teach you all this stuff at the Brell Institute about how to be very stead on offense. You always want to be on the offense. So yeah, when I feel that certain people are going to be a danger to me, I tell them, don't come close.
Yeah. And I want to say this, and this is not a knock against jiu-jitsu or any other thing, like any other martial arts or anything like that. It doesn't matter if boxer or whatever the case. You may be the biggest, baddest person in the room, but you need to be self-aware. You need to be aware of your surroundings.
Yep.
And you also need to be aware of your limitations.
Yeah, big time.
It's absolutely important that you know how to defend yourself. Okay. But it is better that you put space between you and a potential situation than it is for you to walk into a situation and think that, oh, because you've trained for years in whatever, that you're just going to be able to take care of the situation. That's a look. I'm not suggesting that you should not be, strong and proud about who you are. That's
right.
not the point. I mean, you got skills. Great.
But still, you have to be cautious at all times.
Because look, you don't know when you're going to get surrounded by that person that's attacking you. He might have skills, or she might have skills that you're not prepared for, no matter how much you've trained. It's better for you to back away or avoid, or be able to move in a way that misdirects their effort, and you put space between you and your attacker. Okay. Live to fight another day. Okay.
That's right.
Now, if you're in a situation or somebody is being attacked and you're trying to, you do what you got to do, and you put the smack down, but you don't go looking for that opportunity. That's just plain stupid.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't care how bad you are.
Soundbite of somebody saying 100 every time you prove a point.
Yeah,
it's not a soundbite. I got to get that.
And I wanted to say too, definitely for those of you out there, it doesn't matter. Actually, it doesn't matter who you are. I don't care what your size is or your background is or whatever. Go get some training. I'll give you a classic example, and this might sound ridiculous to some people, but it shows my point. When my girls were young, my oldest daughter, I showed her basic maneuver to block an attack, put the person in an arm bar, and put them on the ground. And it takes about a second and a half to do the whole sequence. I mean, it's just, you got to do it automatically. I showed her how to do that. Dude, I'm not kidding you. Not too long after that, kids are kids. This stuff happens.
Yeah.
So they're out on a field trip. They're out walking or riding bikes and on this little field trip through whatever they were doing. I don't remember exactly what it was. They stopped. And of course, one of the boys being boys, wants to put mud in on my daughter. My daughter was not having it. Now she has my personality, and she was just not having that kind of nonsense.
Awesome.
But instead of just being, mouthy or, whatever, and still getting mud on her, the guy tried to put mud on her, and she put him in an arm bar and put his face down in the mud.
Oh, that's beautiful. So he got dirty for the day.
I'm telling you, I was so proud of her at that point. I'm proud of her anyway, and still to this day, but that was just so cool that she took what I showed her, and she was in a situation when, unfortunately, somebody didn't respect the boundaries, but she was able to actually take what I showed her and defend herself. And that's what you have to be able to do. Now, you don't want to have to be in those positions. You don't want to put yourself in those positions, by the way.
Right.
Because again, there's always somebody out there that's going to take you. I don't care who you are. It's going to happen.
Oh, so. Man. That old saying, every dog has his day.
Yeah.
And that's a true saying. And
oftentimes that it's size. Mr. White, Mr. T there, a big guy, looked like a big guy, and all that, but
Mr. T,
maybe he just had that impression from his head size and his mohawk. I don't know. But I've seen some of the smallest people in the world do damage to people that outweighed them by a lot.
Man, I kid you not. I have a friend, his sister was she was a part of the sheriff's department. I won't say what area.
Okay.
And one time I was walking from my house to the bus stop to go to work. And that day of all days, I see her take down this 6'6", 300-pound guy, slams him on the hood of the car, cuffs him and stuffs him, and throws him in the back. And then she turns around and sees me. She goes, "Oh, hey, Vin." I'm like, whoa, this little lady just took down this guy.
it's the old adage. I mean, yes, size does have an impact, but it's not the size of the dog in the fight; it's the size of the fight in the dog.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, and then you know what I said? You know what? No wonder why your husband obeys you. One day he told us we're all in the car. He goes, "Oh man, let's go get some ice cream, guys." And she was like, "You're not gonna have any because you're not raising your levels right now." He goes, "Oh, looks like that's out, guys."
Yeah, but just linking it back to the title of the show, Vin Dog. The demons, the folks that are going to be out there. What the word malice is about doing evil to others. These folks are out there. You have to physically be able to protect yourself, but more importantly, you need to be prayed up. You need to have the armor on, the full armor of God. You need to be in the Word every day.
100%.
This is no joke, because they are going to go after what's the I don't remember where it is, but the issue of binding the strong man, right? So if they can't bind a strong man, they're not going to go in that house. And binding the strong man is not about a man; it's about that person. And it doesn't matter what your size; you can be that strong man. But you have to train yourself up, both in the spirit and physically. You got to be prepared. You got to be aware. You got to pay attention. And that applies to both spiritual or physical. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. It was so funny. One time we went to a courthouse, and my my dad had a sheriff escort to take us up in the elevator because he had a restraining order against this one individual. And it wasn't like a family member. It was like someone who was giving him problems. And my dad was like, he goes, "It's nice that you're escorting us, but," he goes, my son knows how to help me out if I need help." And my dad goes, "Yeah, he's got a vision problem." And the sheriff goes, "Yeah, but that ain't gonna fool me." He goes, man, that won't matter to me. I know he'll be able to take somebody down. And my dad's like, "Yeah, he's done it a few times." Anyway, so let's get back to this. This is a trip, Dean. You ready for this one, bro?
Okay.
Buckle up, folks, because wait, there's more.
Absolutely cannot make this up. I posted midweek about an encounter I had.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys have watched an episode that I had, and this is not the lady, this is a different one. I had the lady who was being harassed by a guy at Nordstrom Rack in Colorado, and it made headline news. Michelle Chandler, really nice lady. And so this has happened to her at a Nordstrom Rack. But watch what she says happened
at Nordstrom
to her daughter as well.
Rack, maybe you saw it. And in that message, the number one thing was to go home and talk to our children about what is going on in the world with people approaching you like this. Well, today, my daughter just called me. She is leaving the beach with her friends, and she was approached. This time, it was by a 30-year-old woman who proceeded to make conversation in a...
See, they don't just use men to try and trap people either.
Yeah.
They use other women.
Very fast-paced way. Everything from sharing her teeth jewelry to the many different professions she had. She even went so far as to say, "I'm a very nurturing person. You can trust me." She then asked for names, schools, addresses, all of the most personal information a kid can give you. And then she said, "Please come to my party tonight." This is the most classic version of another sex trafficking tactic done by women in their 20s, 30s. They're called the bottom girl, and they will come right in and be the first level recruitment for what is the most scary, horrible outcome we can imagine as parents. I have to just thank God that happened to me so that I went home that night and talked to my girls about this, because my daughter promptly gave this woman no information. She packed up her stuff and she hightailed out of there. And, you know, unfortunately, as violating as this isn't the last time this is going to happen, but it's just another reminder. I don't know why my Instagram page has turned into PSAs for this horrific criminal activity. But if we can save one person's life from this scary, scary stuff, then so be it, right? So please talk to your kids, talk to all of the people in your life, and just be aware. And please stay safe.
Crazy. And I got in touch with her. I'm gonna have her on too. She's another different lady. Yeah, this stuff is getting crazy, bro.
Yeah, you know, it's a sign of the times. It was always there, and I just hit something accidentally. Okay, it was always there, and it was just getting worse. The evil's out there, and for people to walk around with their especially young women, kids, to walk around with their heads in the sand and not be aware of these things. It's horrible that we have to tell our kids about this stuff, but it's also our responsibility to make sure that we talk to them about this and share with them, you know, because again, you can tell people stories, right? Until they experience it, you know, being in that situation, but then they're going to take it. Hopefully you can get them to believe it before it happens, but to get them to know that this stuff has been going on for a long time. It's been going on in different ways, and it may not be as bold as an approach as walking up to somebody in a shopping store parking lot, like that kind of thing, you know, but my goodness, I mean, I think y'all know these days, somebody walks up to you and says, "Trust me." I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. You walk up to me like that out of the blue, you say, "Trust me." But that's life experience. And a lot of times the young people don't have that life experience.
Yeah, or that discernment.
But I've never trusted people in that respect. So
yeah, I'm like, no, I don't know you like that, partner.
Yep. Sorry. Oh, that sounds great. You have a great day, but I'm not interested.
Yeah, not interested. And can you walk that way? And I'll go this way, partner.
Now, granted, you know, 40 years ago, I probably would have said it in a much different way.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I probably would have used words I wouldn't have said in front of my own mother.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. One of those. All right, guys. Now, I'm going to play a video right now that's going to make you a little mad to the gills, because this parent is capitulating their own child about being aware of racism. You guys ready for this one? This is destructive, and I think I have seen this video before, but I had to pull this back because it was a suggestion from one of the folks on Instagram. Say, man, I don't think people have seen this video enough. But what? And this is happening right this day, right now. As we speak, it's happening right now as we speak. Check this out, guys.
This is white people hair.
What does that mean?
It means that this hair is white.
You are a white person.
I'm not supposed to be white. We're supposed to be black, and we're black.
Can you believe that?
Well,
that's torture to a kid.
Yeah. I mean, I could see this happening with kids just because of how kids look at things. They're innocent and they're want to be like their friends and so forth. They don't see color. But these days, unfortunately, if a child is reacting this way, I'd be very, very concerned. So there's something going on that shouldn't be going on.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, why are you doing that to a child? You know, it was funny. My dad always used to say this. He goes, you know, hatred is not natural. It's being taught to kids from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, look at the whole situation with the whole Carmelo Anthony thing. And I'll tell you right now, if I were on the jury, I would have made sure he was belted under the jail. Because that is just crazy, man. And then there are people coming out saying that they should do this. What? This is nuts.
Yeah, the thing that really disturbs me about, other than the fact of that, that somebody was killed, somebody's going to jail for half their life at least. That's all important. But what really concerns me is the fact I don't see enough people talking about the truth about how people are being raised today.
Mhm.
And I don't. It doesn't matter with what color you are. Let's just pretend, like this subject would have come up, and it would just be no names, just person X, person Y. This is what happened. No sex, no skin color, no where they're from, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Just very basic. What would be the first thing that you would look at? You'd probably be asking yourself, for both these families, okay, is how are these children raised?
What's the character of the family?
What's the character of the family? What's going on? Because, having lived as a small child in Southern California, when my dad was stationed at Travis Air Force Base in Reset area. You know that area?
Used to live up in Fairfield.
Yeah, so that's the greater Sacramento, California area, for those of you that don't know. But to be the only white family in a school, in a neighborhood, to be picked on, and all this stuff, and my parents never taught us to see people as color. They taught us to see people for who they are. What they do,
and guys,
how they act.
don't mind if I say this, guys, because this word is in the Bible. It's just said differently. Unfortunately, there's a jackass everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, and it's how you're taught. I was never taught to look at people. I was taught people. My dad had friends. My dad had worked with, and it was never this. I saw good and I saw bad. I didn't see black, white, Mexican.
Well, you're from the X
Chinese
generation, right?
Well, I fall on that. Right on the line.
I'm actually the X generation. And
I'm actually the last.
It was never.
No. It's people that they don't want to. They don't believe that. They don't. You know what? I don't care. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just telling you this is how I've seen my dad go after people who were treating others because of their race inappropriately. I've never seen my dad talk bad about somebody because of the color of their skin.
No.
Now, if they acted like an idiot,
then they're an idiot.
Really matter. He got he would get in their face, but it didn't matter who it was, and it was he didn't. I've never seen that, and oh, by the way, my brother hit two of his children were previous children with that his wife had, and
yes, I get it.
They're a mixed race. He adopted them, no question.
Yeah, exactly.
They're his kids.
Yeah,
and that's the way we were raised. So it really comes down to how were these two young men raised, and I'm not saying anything negative or positive in that statement. I'm just saying we really need to have a discussion and speak to that issue, because
it all starts in the home, brother.
Yeah, it all starts in the home. It all starts in the home.
Yeah, it all starts in the home. Because I'll tell you, when I grew up, we wouldn't even dare pull any crazy moves like that, because my mom told the whole family, to all of us kids, we were sitting down at the table, and it was about to be game night at the house. My mom's, I guess it was a news story that she was watching on TV, and she goes, "If I catch any of you breaking the law in any form or fashion, if you do something that is idiotic," she goes, "the police are going to be the last people you need to worry about."
Yeah.
I was like, and we're all looking at each other like, I think point well taken.
Yeah. Again, it comes right back down to what, anybody, as kids, we do stupid things. We all have done stupid things, and that could have gone sideways very fast in a lot of respects that we may not even realized at the moment. But what possesses somebody to take a knife with them in their bag to a school event?
They were looking for trouble.
And, you can blame the school and everybody else around it, all the coaches and stuff, for not properly searching or whatever the case might be. But the question is what would possess you to do that in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I get it. Don't anybody misunderstand me. There are bad people out there. There are on all sides of the fence that will do things because of some, I mean, come on, look at Israel, right? There's a classic example. And, whether it's black, white, Asian, Mexican, or whatever, there are people all over that will do these things because they have hatred in their heart.
Mm-hmm. And it shows. It really shows.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. Basically, that's just the way our household was reared. And man, the law was the law in the house.
Yeah.
Exactly. Law. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
And trust me, as kids, we didn't want to break that law because we felt those penalties of breaking any type of law in the house before. So, yeah.
And, and unfortunately,
and it was hey, let me tell you, Dean, it was a bun burner, buddy.
Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, I never repeated it again.
Yeah. Well, yeah, right.
I just didn't like the ramifications of all of that.
Well, and that is the thing. Every choice that we make, there are ramifications to that, which includes, making the choice of whether or not you're going to follow Jesus as your Lord and Savior. There are ramifications for you deciding that you don't want to listen to God. You don't want to hear what God has to say to you. There are ramifications for following God.
Yeah.
We're going to. There's going to be tribulation and attacks on you because you follow God, and then there's a lot of good with that. There's more that outweighs the bad, but
it's a badge of honor.
Yeah, it's one of those like fundamental truths of life. There are ramifications to every decision, to every choice.
So. Yep, there sure is, brother. Let's pull this one up. You ready for this? This one's a trip, bro.
It really scares me when you keep saying, "Are you ready for this?"
They're gonna rise up. Look at this, boy. Lefty loonies. This is what's happening.
What are they rising up for?
They want to rise up.
I have no context.
They want to rise up against folks like us that have a morality clause.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There's some of those.
It always scares me when you say, "Are you ready for this?" I don't know what to think. What's coming? Oh my goodness.
Somebody thought it was a 2 Unlimited song. Y'all ready for this? I'm like, no, not that one, guys. Yeah, but that was a liberal lady who was also on television the other day saying that we got to get rid of the fascism. She says it looked like the days of old with the whole segregation thing of the 60s. I'm like, this lady is on drugs. What is she talking about?
Yeah, well, it's part of our culture. Again, people are, whatever. I mean, it's like, AOC saying that it's time that they come down to. She comes down to Alabama and she says, "We're gonna pull up. We need to pull up on Alabama."
Oh no.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. You do that because you're going to get the whiskey slapped out of your bartender face.
Yeah, you're going to get the vodka slapped out of your mouth.
Well, why don't you rise up for God instead of all this other nonsense? Oh, well, because he ain't in you. That's why. Perhaps. I don't know.
It's crazy, right?
It is craziness. It is craziness.
All right.
It's sad.
Yeah, it is. It is. These people need Jesus, bro.
Dude, Don't we all?
Yeah. And this next video clip is going to show you that this individual is totally given over to a on steroids version of a debased mind. This guy is out of Seattle, Washington. Watch this as this so-called educator. I'm going to bring myself back in here real quick here.
Yeah. Because I don't like looking at myself at a big screen like that.
Hey, it's okay, man. I have a face for radio.
I have a face for books.
All right. So here's the deal. This guy is a so-called educator out of Seattle, Washington. And he calls himself, I don't know, I'm just going to say, the thing. These people are upside down and inside out, twisted, worse than a donut. All right, here we go. This guy, check it out.
Hi there, everyone. My name is Brennan Ham, and I'm the health education specialist and trainer for Seattle Public Schools. I prefer my name to pronouns, but anything said with respect is great. So they, she, and he all work for me. I'm very excited to be here with you today because we are going to read a fabulous book called Introducing Teddy. Now, before we begin, I would like to cover some important words that'll really help us understand this story better. Gender means a person's feeling about being either a boy or a girl, neither, both, or somewhere in between. Gender role means cultural ways about how men and women are supposed to act. Thomas the Teddy took a deep breath. I need to be myself, Errol. In my heart, I've always known that I'm a girl Teddy, not a boy Teddy. I wish my name was Tilly, not Thomas.
This is what they're teaching children in Seattle, Washington, guys. This is sick.
Yeah.
Now, on a good day, I would take him outside and talk to him nicely and tell him he needs to change his ways. But if he continued on this path, well,
I forget who it was that I was watching. Maybe somebody else seen this.
I don't know, man. I take off my belt and give the guy a whooping.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
There is somebody was talking about this, that there's a 150-year window from the point that people start promoting, legalizing, and codifying into law or into culture this kind of behavior. And they did the research on this, and it basically said that every culture that ever it became part of their mainstream culture, it became codified in law. It was promoted by everyone promoted it. That was the prevailing attitude. Every single culture throughout history within 150 years fell.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember off the top of my head now who it was. It might have been a Seth Gruber. It might have been somebody else, maybe a Frank Turek or somebody. But it's an astounding thought. And if you think about it, what society has...
Well, empires last, 250 years? And then they crumble?
250 years is a
we're approaching that on
yeah.
Why?
And look what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It was Seth Gruber because guess what? 1973, I think it was 1973 when abortion was formally legalized.
Yeah. The year I was born.
There was another event in 73 that happened as well, but I can't remember. It was Seth Gruber. It was he was on somebody's show or something, I think, or I was listening to something. Yeah. But the point is that, well,
I got to tell you about that guy off the air. Kind of don't want to mention him. So
okay.
Anyway, but yeah, he did say that. I heard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's a lady who's an attorney, and she's the daughter of a former FBI agent. That's what I call the FBI. So what do you think about Kash Patel before we keep going forward? I think he's going to be fired.
You know what? It's like with the way I look at these things, it's kind of like with everybody else. I don't know. you hear a lot of different things. I hear good things and I hear not so good things.
Cashless Patel, people have been calling him lately.
What have they been calling him? I missed it.
Yeah, cashless. Yeah.
Oh, Cashless Patel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you go back to the Tulsi Gabbard issue that she was getting fired because something was going on. I don't even remember what the issue is.
Mm-hmm.
And then it turns out she was resigning from her position because her husband has stage 4 cancer.
Yeah, he has health issues. Yeah.
Well, they were saying all I heard was nasty things about Tulsi Gabbard. Now, I'm not saying one way or the other she's good, bad, or whatever. It's just I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I just know what I've been hearing out there, and then all of a sudden it comes out. Well, she's actually resigning because she wants to spend time with her husband because her husband has stage 4 cancer.
Yeah,
I don't know these things. I'm not saying that the things are not true. I'm not saying there's some questionable things in there. I just, I think we jump to too many conclusions sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, Vin, I don't know about anybody else, but I know that if you looked into my background, you might have some questions.
Yeah, I got some questions. Why you don't share your biscotti, bro?
Look, there's some things you just don't mess with, okay? Don't touch my espresso and don't touch my biscotti.
Or the homemade hot pockets.
Well, hot pockets. Yeah, I know, right? Those things are like
off
your
limits.
Best. By the way, she made them one time, and I got to convince her to make them again. But she made hot pockets that were not like meat filled or cheese filled. It was like a hot s'more pocket.
What?
Oh yeah,
man.
Oh, absolutely delicious.
Your wife ever considered being a baker?
I don't think so. I don't think she really gets. She enjoys what she does, but I don't think she wants to spend that much time, or that in that way.
Oh, okay.
At a job, but it's like it's a pastry, like your finest pastry. Like your French pastry.
I can imagine it, bro.
It's just mouth-watering. But anyway,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm salivating already, bro.
Look. Let's get back to the evil in this world. Let's stop talking about stuff that actually is good.
I know, like food.
Yeah. So what's the deal with Cash Patel? Lay it on us.
We'll talk about cashless later. I just wanted to ask your thoughts on it.
Oh, I mean, I really don't spend a whole lot of time with that kind of stuff anymore because look, we've had so many people. I mean, I don't know that anybody out there that's perfect, first of all.
No.
Okay. And I know everybody has their issues and we don't know all the ins and outs behind the scenes and all that stuff. And some of them look as dirty as the day is long.
The day is long. I haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah, that's an old one. But here, the thing is that it, you know what? It's like most people, I would say, most people, get involved in politics directly. They get into office or they get into some high level position or whatever. There's something that it seems like there's just nobody that survives. Their values and their morals don't survive very long
because you're in there with a lot of snakes.
Yeah, and look, what is politics? Politics is it's about getting along as best you can to get something done, getting people to agree. Because look, if a lot of times you can't get anything done because you have too many factions, and then you get polarization and stuff like that. I'm not suggesting that it's a good thing or this makes the people okay. I'm just saying people end up getting corrupted with their desire to do something. And then it becomes, I gotta get reelected or whatever else. And one little compromise leads to another little compromise. And sometimes they may not even realize it because they're not paying attention. Who knows what the reason is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it's very hard for people to go into politics.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going into it.
And to maintain and actually be unfortunately, to be effective and to actually accomplish anything when they're not part of the world.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so I mean, you can't. Where do you find that person? They don't exist.
Nope, exactly.
They don't exist. So
let's get to this young lady who's an attorney that's going to give women advice.
Okay.
As a lawyer raised by an FBI agent dad, here are my top 5 safety mistakes I'm teaching my teens not to make. But these really apply to everyone. Number 1, walking distracted. Do not walk around campus or really anywhere for that matter with earbuds in both your ears or your head buried in your phone. You got to keep one ear open and you got to keep your head up, paying attention to what is happening around you. Number 2, being too predictable. If you run or walk for exercise, especially when it's dark out, do not take the exact path at the same exact time every day. You have to vary your route and your timing because predictable routes make you a target. Number 3, ignoring that weird feeling. If something feels off, get the hell. You do not need to explain it. You do not need to be polite. Your safety comes before anyone else's feelings. Number 4, getting into an Uber or a Lyft without verifying it. Check the plate, check the car, check the driver, and you ask them who they're there to pick up. Do not ever say your name first. Number 5, mentally checking out when you get to your car. You've got to look around. Look around, look in the back seat, get in, lock your doors, and go. Do not sit there scrolling with your head down. This is not about being afraid. It's about not being careless. Save this and share it with your kid who thinks they know everything, and send it to the parent who needs to send it to theirs.
There you go.
I'm sure somebody might have something to say about that because there's always somebody that has a different opinion, and that's okay. But I don't see anything wrong with what all that is, to use a very worn out and unnecessary phrase, but to use it anyway, common sense. I mean, hello.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that always applies. So what her being a lawyer and her father being an FBI agent has to do with that is limited to their exposure to all the crud that happens in the world that they have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
But your average everyday person, if they just stopped and thought about it for a second, would realize this is common sense.
Got to keep your head on a swivel.
You know, I mean, come on.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
All right. If you wanna put your thoughts in with Dean and myself, you know the numbers: 619-500, 1-862, 619-500, 1-862. Hotline's going to be open. So there were a couple of San Francisco Giants players who went against the grain on the night of sin in Major League Baseball, and they put Bible verses on their ball caps.
Yep, I saw this. This is good.
Brother, I love when people stand up against the grain. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
when they're doing it for the right reason. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. This is crazy. So just because the guy, the gentleman stood up for righteousness, I'm going to pull up this, guys, because I want you to see this. This is absolutely incriminating what's happening. So I never liked the current commissioner of baseball anyway, Rob Manfred. I think he is a pink tie wearing, fairy dusting idiot. And everybody just says, man, Vin, you really do like Rob Manfred. So MLB decides to come down on Mr. Ruff.
Nice.
With a warning. A warning, family. Is this wild or what?
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me, but it's wrong. I don't like it. I saw a picture of one of the a photo of one of the San Francisco players with, they had the pride colors on the cap, the rainbow, which is the rainbow is something from God. It's not from man, and they're using it completely backwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then they wrote on the side of it. They wrote the passages that they had on their hearts to share, and I think that was awesome. But
then MLB tries to say that in the rules, you can't write things on your hat. Wait a minute, I've seen people put stuff on their ball caps a lot. Save that horseradish for the herds in Texas.
Yeah, that's just it's kind of like anything else these days. It's a cover for them to do whatever they want, but prevent you from doing something that you want to do. I think on one hand, I think, sports figures should just play the sport, and sports itself should just be about the sport. Should not be about the advertising and on the uniforms or anything like that. But at the same time, people have a right to speak out on what they believe. The problem results in, there's more than one problem with this, but the problem really results in when they restrict or punish Christians for sharing their faith.
And MLB is showing their hate to Christians.
Yeah. But they promote all kinds of other evil satanic stuff. So,
like Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence.
Yeah, there you go. Back to that thing. Yeah, exactly. So,
it's fine to promote homosexuality, but don't promote anything that has to do with the Lord Jesus. No, don't do that.
Well, it's kind of the same thing with, like in the world with Islam and Christianity. There are 52. There are 52 countries that ban or highly restrict, if not ban outright, the Bible. How many countries ban Islam, the Quran?
Yeah.
Goose egg.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and poor Lori and our friends in Canada, man.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Talking about sin is considered hate speech.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
But
believe it or not, it's happening in this country too. I just watched a video the other day where literally on video, cops were telling a guy, because yes, he was speaking outside of a abortion clinic, that because he said words, he was getting a ticket for civil disobedience.
In America.
It starts out small like that, but
yeah.
Laurie Sanders, we are following the UK. You absolutely are, and we're not far behind. So, it's horrible.
18 months or less away from everything happening here.
Yeah.
And as I said on Gary McKibben's broadcast earlier that he did, quick one, I comment that I said, hey, the things are getting wilder by the second, and it's going downhill at Mach speed. Yeah. So
I know you like that Mach speed, but I have to ask you this. Do you know what Mach speed is?
Isn't that something that breaks the sound barrier?
Do you know what warp speed is?
Warp speed? That's something that Trump started. Oh, anyway.
Oh, hey, that's not. No, no, sure, no. He takes credit for a lot of things he shouldn't, and that's.
I know. That's why I did that.
But warp speed, Vin, come on. Warp speed is the speed of light. It's faster than the speed of light.
Yeah.
Or it's up to the whatever. Yeah. Okay.
I just like the word Mach speed. You know that.
I know. I just had to tease you about
that.
But
warp speed is faster.
Yeah. I get it. You like Mach speed. I get it. It's okay. It's okay. I'm having fun.
Yeah, I know. I love it, bro. Are you kidding me? I love it.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying not to laugh hard.
I'll never be back on this show again.
I'm trying not to laugh hard. That's why I'm holding it back.
It's one of my proclivities, Vin.
Yeah, I love proclivities. Wonderful.
Well, some of them.
Especially when they're funny. Especially when they're funny and meaningful.
Well, okay, but yeah, if they're not horrendous proclivities. But yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll be nice. I'll be nice now. I don't want everybody just get mad at me, okay? I made the blind guy, the visually impaired guy fall out of his chair laughing. It's my fault.
Oh, bro.
I've never fallen out of my chair when I was laughing.
Man. I think the last time I fell out of my chair laughing is when my uncle had said something at Christmas dinner years ago. That was it. That was it. Oh man. But I have the video clip of the Giants player, Mr. Ruff, speaking up.
Okay.
Chapter and verse that you have. Yeah, 12 through 16. It's just about God's covenant and the promise that He makes to us. That His faithfulness and His mercy, and it's just kind of something I believe in, and I stand firm in that. And thankfully, we live in a country where we have the freedom to believe what we want. So yeah, and express what we want.
You hadn't written that previous time.
Asking him about the Bible verse, they just keep on trying to jam him.
Why was it important to make that known tonight?
Kind of what the verse says. The rainbow is a symbol of God's covenant to us, and us as believers stand firm in that. But it's not anything, it's like there's no hate at all. It's just what I stand for and what I stand in. I believe in God, and yeah, that's me.
I know you say there's no hate, but there might be some members of the LGBTQ plus community that might, consider that, as a hateful message.
See how they're just pushing that?
Yeah. Okay. Whoa. That guy.
What would
Pop
you
that
respond to that?
Did you see how that idiot in the media said, well, some people in the LGBTQIA plus formal community might be a little upset with what you put on your hat.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking about right there, Vin. Is okay. Well, what about all the stuff that happens? It's that we as Christians, believers of Christ or followers of Christ, Jesus is our Lord and Savior. What about what offends us? What about we find as being hateful and being shoved in our faces? Why do we not have the same, especially in this country? I'm sorry, but I didn't serve in the uniform so that somebody could tell me what I can and cannot say or think. That's within the law. I mean, we're coming up on 250 years. And for this guy to even be asked this question about is so just wrong. Don't you think that some people in the LGBTQ community would find this as hateful? My response would have been, well, don't you think that people that are Christians find the pride statements and activities hateful and against Christians? Yeah, absolutely. I do. I find it hateful all the time, but nobody seems to really give a rodent's behind about
how we feel about it.
Yeah. And yeah, exactly. But I mean, I know the reason for it. I mean, it's a sign of the times. Evil's good, good is evil, and it's going to continue, and it's going to be persecution against Christians for their beliefs. And this is how it starts.
Yep.
When everybody decides that something is hateful, but then when you try to apply that same standard to somebody else, to a different group, then all of a sudden that doesn't work that way.
It's just not the case.
It's a true double standard, or two levels of what do they call it? Justice in this country. In many ways, but that's a classic example right there.
You know what I call it? Bull ball boogery.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are people like, man.
Use the Bible verse in this context, within this month. What would you say if somebody considered that, maybe derogatory towards them as a community?
Tell them, brother.
I would just, first of all, as a believer, I would, push them to read the Bible. I think, God has blessed me in so many ways, and I don't think I'd be here right now if it wasn't for Him. So, yeah, like I said, there's no hate in it at all. We're, like I said, we live in a country where you're welcome to believe what you want. There's freedom of speech and stuff like that. So that's really all I have to say about that. I'm just thankful that God's put me in this situation and that I can go out and, you know, share his kingdom.
Boom.
Yep. But all you're going to hear on the news media is how hateful this guy is.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like he's hateful at all.
No. And he even said, hey, there's no hate in this. But, you know, they twisted that. And that's why MLB came down hard on him and his other teammates that did that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, go figure. You know, the only Major League Baseball team that did not celebrate the gallivanting sin of pride. Does anybody know?
I heard this just recently, and I wish I could tell you it had to be a coast or a central or west coast team.
Well, all right. You want to know who it was?
Oh, absolutely.
The Texas Rangers.
Wow. That would be something.
Yeah, the Texas Rangers. And you know, it's funny. One of my buddies is a Rangers fan, and he says, "Hey, you notice we don't celebrate that night here in Texas at our ballpark." And I said, "Yeah, because the guy that signed a nice long-term contract, a pitcher by the name of Jacob deGrom, said he wanted that clause in his contract that the Texas Rangers do not celebrate Pride Night."
Really?
Yeah, it's in his contract.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
using the leverage that he has.
Hey, he's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah. Hey.
You want to make the Hall of Famer happy, right?
Yeah.
I wish a lot of baseball players who do call themselves Christians would do that. Like, hey, look, I'll sign the contract, but we're going to put a clause in there that there's no Pride Night.
Right. Right.
You know?
That's awesome.
Like, come on, brother. Jacob deGrom, man. You know what? And he's a excellent pitcher. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Guy's good. But that's crazy, though. A Hall of Famer just like stood up like that and said, nah, man, I won't play not unless you get rid of that Pride Night here. So.
Which goes to show it's all about the money for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as much as, I mean, they got it in contract and that's great, but why, you know, it unfortunately takes someone that is able to leverage his abilities and stuff to stand up and get something like that actually in a contract. But it shows that organizations, it's all about the money. They
know he filled seats.
You get filled seats. You got that pitcher on your team. You got that chance at a championship. You got this or that going on. It also goes to show you how deprived the rest of the league is, because nobody will, the rest of professional sports and these days college sports and everything else, how depraved their minds really are. They're only concerned about the money. And I get it. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of overhead in professional sports, but they're making loads of money. Don't kid yourself.
They're making it by the billions.
Somebody, you know, when you spend a couple $100 at the ballpark just having food, come on.
Yeah,
it's all about the money.
Yeah, it's all about the cash flow. And I got to tell you, when they did Pride Night at Dodger Stadium, it was not even full.
Good.
It was not even full. It just goes to show you people are not with that business in sports. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, man, Rob Manfred, you know you're on my list, brother, and I don't like you. So I want you to know that from the bottom of my heart. I don't like you. You can wear your pink ties and pull your neck back all you want, but you're one of the lizard people.
If you had asked me who the current commissioner of Major League Baseball was, I would have no idea. And it's just it just adds to the list of reasons why I don't watch professional sports anymore. I know there's a lot of good out there, but man, I can't even stand it anymore.
Yeah, it's become a professional joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, but I looked up I looked up who this guy was a while back, and I'm like, I don't like this guy. I just don't like him. that was something, that was a little issue that my parents dealt with when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Because there's this guy, and I won't mention his name, but I'll say his initials are RM. And he's probably either long gone and doesn't know where I am right now, and that's good. But I remember telling him one time, because somebody told him how I felt about him, because I knew he was a jerk and a dirtbag. And so he calls me, and I'm like, well, since you called me and you want it from the horse's mouth, yes, it's true. I personally don't like you. Okay, oh man, let me tell you, the way he sounded, like that killed his ego, Dean. It killed his ego. It pulled his head out of the sky.
What was the commissioner of Major League Baseball's name again?
Rob Manfred.
You just talked about a friend whose initials were RM.
Yeah, I know. But it's not that guy. But they both have the initials.
I will just say this: Robert Manfred, if that's your name, professional baseball commissioner. Vin's waiting for your call.
Yeah, hit me up, brother.
Thanks.
We'll talk.
And Rob Manfred, in your face, I'm on Vin Dog's show and you're not. Now watch, you're going to get a call.
Oh man, I know.
Dean has spoken. You will call Vin Dog.
Hey, and you know, hey, check it out. 619-500-1862. I want to know what's up. I'll laugh if Rob Manfred actually calls in, and I will tell him over the phone, I personally don't like you, bro.
Oh my good, that would be absolutely
that would be classic, right?
That would be the score of a lifetime for your show, right? Just to have somebody call in like that, you know?
Yeah, just
like,
yeah.
You know, I mean, come on, that would just be so cool. But of course, you know, it would be interesting to listen to how it goes. But wow.
Any sports league commissioner can call up on the show right now, 619-500-1862 if you're out there, if you got the guts. I'll tell you I don't like you. Adam Silva, I'll tell you I don't like you.
It's amazing what you can do when you're nobody's gonna, whether you know they're not going to see the show.
The NBA, no boogery allowed.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
you know?
no boogery allowed. Oh, NBA, no boogery allowed. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Hey, what do we call the NFL? Not for long.
Okay.
Yeah, because it doesn't last. But anybody else, you know, I want people to chime in on the topic of today. We'll know your thoughts on everything that we pushed today and talked about.
Except for that DA guy, we don't need him calling in, making a spectacle of things again today.
No. District attorney. Oh man, dude, I'm having a great time with this because it's just like, wow, man. Yeah. We're living in some wild times, bro. I'll tell you that right now. So what do you think about the whole Iran deal?
Oh my goodness. If you have not been swimming in a can of worms, let's just open a can of worms.
Yeah, let's open them up real quick. I'm going to do that right now. Where's my can opener?
Wow. You know, here's the thing. How can I sum this up easily? I don't like everything Donald Trump has done and said, but he is our president. I don't know what's in this deal, and hopefully we're supposed to hear about it, I think, maybe by Friday or something like that.
Yeah, that's what we've been told, but JD Vance has come out against anybody who's against the deal.
Oh, I don't really care what JD Vance says.
I know, me neither.
It's okay. He has an opinion, and that's fine and dandy. But I don't really care that he said that he's out again. If he's in disagreement with me, that's fine. Uh-oh. Is that JD Vance?
Yeah.
Robert Manfred.
We know who this is.
Oh, that was good. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah. Is he on the line?
Are you on the line, Rob?
He just sent a message. Oh, is he laughing in the background? He's laughing.
Yes, sir. I am.
Take the.
And I just wanted to tell you, I don't care if you don't like me. I love you anyway.
Will the real RM stand up?
Oh man, hey, I'm glad the real Rob Manfred didn't stand up because I can tell him all about himself right now.
So I to continue on, not to interrupt Rob Manfred, as important as he is as a baseball commissioner, but
I just thought I'd give you guys a laugh. After all, I don't want to take I don't want to take away from your show, so I'll let you guys go. By the way, man, this number I just called you on, this is the DA, by the way. You know, you're in trouble now because I'm pressing. No, I'm kidding. This is my wife's phone number. I'll let you guys go.
Dude, that is hilarious. I'm like, hey, that would have been nice if Robert Manfred would have really called in.
Yeah, I realized, Daniel. I realized after my first calling in. When it was,
hey, everybody needs a good laugh.
Yeah, absolutely. I realized after my first time calling in there, that one time that I did, was that there is no way I could prank call Vin unless I get a different phone, because he'll know who it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't leave a message, I can't leave a joke, I can't do anything. So, good job, circumventing the procedures there.
Yeah.
But that's a one-time shot. You realize now we know who you are.
Oh man, that was great, Daniel. That was great.
Yeah,
that was great.
What was I saying? I don't know. That was good.
Yeah,
Robert Manfred. That was good.
Yeah, I know. I try. Hey, anyway, I'll let you guys get back to whatever, and I'll just keep listening.
All right, brother. Love you, man.
All right, love you guys. Bye.
Perfect.
Hey, that would have been funny if it was really Rob Manfred.
I would have been like disconnecting my equipment real quick. I don't know.
You would have been like, oh no, Vin's about to go toast on this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. Thank you, Daniel. That was good.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. Oh man.
Yeah. So the Israel thing, Vin, I think everybody needs to understand that it is a memorandum of understanding. It is not a peace agreement. I really detest the
word
fact,
peace agreement.
Yeah, that they're using that as a peace agreement. I mean, I get it. They're trying to get people on board and everybody to see the positive and this and that, but it really isn't a peace agreement. Well, now it could come out, and the way it's worded, it could be really nothing but a peace agreement. But it's a memorandum of understanding. It's about how they're going to negotiate the things that lead to peace and resolution of the conflict.
You think it's going to end up being pallets of cash like Obama?
Well, I think there's been some talk, I don't know how true it is, about money already being freed up and going to, and of course people have already said that that's no different than what Obama did. And I see that point. I don't know that that's necessarily true. Excuse me. It doesn't, just because restrictions have been lifted off money that is already the Iranians, regardless of how they got it, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the same as flying pallets of cash into. Now that could be splitting hairs, and it's a perfectly good argument. I'm just saying, the thing is, there's a lot of things that we don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet. And I mean, everybody's free to speculate, although I think that we have to really be cautious about that. This should be a concerning time, and I think before anybody goes out speculating too much about what may or may not be happening and why people are doing what they're doing, we need to go back and read our Bibles quite a bit more. This is just leading us down that road, and whether or not this is actually the peace agreement that everybody wants. As soon as somebody talks about
Keep
peace,
talking, brother, because I'm looking for something.
Yeah, this may be the peace agreement that leads us to the the tribulation or Ezekiel 38 war. What? Okay, yeah, that may be true, but we don't know that yet. Let's see if we can get just through. I mean, I look at things in this way, compartmentalize things in some respects, because we've had these issues where ceasefires get broken all the time, and it's just a war with less firing going on, as I think David Towle said, or somebody else said. Maybe it was Oliver Milnick, I think.
Olivier.
I say Oliver. Sorry, Olivier, because he's French. He's French.
He's the Frenchman.
But anyway, I love Olivier. So by the way,
he's a great brother.
Don't misunderstand.
A good brother.
Yeah. But we have to take things in small steps, because history, the historical facts of issues with Iran and other places in the Middle East show us that things don't always happen the way we think they're going to happen, because for all kinds of reasons. Maybe they're not being honest. Maybe they're looking at it different, because a lot of times I think I see a lot of comments, a lot of people talking about how they view this stuff, and I'm losing my train of thought here, Vin. I got so many things going through my head right now. We just have to stop and be patient.
Yeah, because there's some people speculating that the deal might be the same as Obama's, right?
Yeah, but I'm not saying they're wrong.
I'm just like this. Since we're comparing notes and people are talking about it might be the same deal, I decided to pull this up just for a good one here at the Carter funeral service.
Yeah.
I don't like the music, so we're gonna just let that die. They're passing a note to each other, laughing and chopping it up. I wonder if he called him by his real name, Barry Soetoro. So, Barry, what do you think? How do you think I'm doing with the country, Barry? Well, Don, I think you're doing a tremendous job, just like I did in 2008 when I crashed the country. And
yeah.
Yeah.
I really think I get it. We all have different opinions, and that's okay. I think when people start making their opinions as accusations, or they become caustic or toxic comments in terms of how you're responding to somebody else, it's okay to have an opinion, and it's also okay for people to disagree with you.
Yeah. Please don't get your feelings hurt, folks, when people disagree with you.
I think it's one of those interesting things. You look at in this particular clip you got here with Trump talking to Obama. I think people can be adversarial in their approach, their opinions, their styles, and whatever their leadership and all that. But when you're two people talking, we don't know what their conversation is, what's going on there, but people tend to still. Yes. You're gonna make up a conversation now. People still have, we're not that terribly different on a base level. People tend to get along with other people. They tend to joke, even with people they don't necessarily agree with.
Do you remember this phrase? Can't we all just get along?
Yeah.
Rodney King.
Yeah. And I've actually had somebody in recent times within the last year or so say something like that to me in the context of disputes, and I can talk with somebody I completely disagree with. I can be friendly to somebody I don't like. I can say, well, that person is a or whatever. I can give them. I can say nice things about somebody, even if I don't necessarily agree with them, or I you know, everybody has a different level, a different point at which that stops, of course. You know, but I think our nature is that we, you know, and Donald Trump's he does this. He does it all the time, whether you agree with it or not. It's just his style. I don't like a lot of it, but you know, he says a lot of nice things about people that we don't like. We don't like what they do. We don't like what they're all about. We don't like where they're going, you know, kind of things. But he does that to prevent, I think, such a caustic, toxic situation that nothing can be accomplished. I mean, there's a point where that's got to stop, I think, you know, like we don't want to be storming the beaches of Normandy and saying, you know, well, Hitler, he's a nice guy. You know, he's a leader of his country. I can respect what he's doing as a leader of his country. Yeah, we're not doing that. But until we're at that point where we're actually in an all-out war, you know, you can say nice things about the other person just to keep the doors open, kind of thing. Not that you're giving space back or you're giving up, you know, your position to the other person.
Nice picture, Daniel Armstrong.
Uh-oh.
Give me a picture of Nebuchadnezzar.
Oh, yeah.
He's funny.
Yeah, so I just think, you know, him talking to, well, Lori Sanders, thank you for that nice comment. You say I'm too kind. And you know what? It's a I'm trying to be, you know, I'm trying to let the Holy Spirit guide how I look at things and how I react to things. I could say a lot of very nasty, negative things very easily. Do not misunderstand that I'm just this like little, you know, I'm just easygoing, nice to every. Well, if you haven't figured it out, that's not true. But then you haven't been paying attention. But I appreciate your comment. I'm trying to say, you know, we need to all step back and because the rhetoric everywhere has gotten off the charts. And there's a time and place for rhetoric. I got it. And then we all have a different. I'm a who.
I believe that everything that's happening right now is you know a part of Bible prophecy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what happened this weekend on Flag Day on Sunday, the UFC fight outside the White House on the lawn, the big archway built.
Yeah,
bro. I believe that the Lord is saying, hey, this is a precursor to the revived Roman Empire, to just letting you see how it's going to look. You know, gladiators fighting in an octagon. You know,
yeah, you know, that's I heard you say that before, and you know, I respect that view. I mean, I think that there's validity to the fact that probably should be something that's done on the White House lawn, but we've had the pride flag shown up on the White House,
and that's a precursor.
And so,
all of them are precursors.
I'm not saying people that are offended by that are wrong to be offended by it. I don't like it either. I don't think it should. It could have been done at some military base because they have concerts. They have you know, people coming to entertain the troops. They have UFC events and stuff like that because the troops, they do a lot of training for hand-to-hand combat kind of thing. And so there is that, and people like that kind of stuff. So there's nothing wrong with having that kind of event. I think that for optics, for certain, just on a base level. But I get it, Lori. It is a violent sport, obviously. And the way that it's promoted is it enhances people's attraction to that and kind of environment. But it's one-on-one combat. We do it in the military. It doesn't necessarily mean people hate each other, but when you got two people stepping up in training to fight against each other, it's not because they're going after each other because they hate each other. Who knows? There might be animosity in there somewhere, but it's part of the training kind of thing where you do sparring, right? It's a sport. But hey, I will tell you that I have to say this, but I have to say this because I think with the UFC, I don't think it should have been at the White House, but at the same time, I get it. I get why they did it. It's part of our culture and all that. But you know what irks me even more is the fact that we have professional sports teams that have fights on a regular basis. And they're playing baseball or they're playing whatever. You know? So you're right. That part of it, the violence thing, it just doesn't seem appropriate. Why? But it's all over our sports. It's everywhere in our culture.
I mean, think about it.
I'm not saying it to justify it. I'm just saying these are the facts out there.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. The Colosseum in Rome, what was it? Blood? It's a bloodbath. You know, fighting, warriors.
Yeah.
Gladiators.
Yeah. And that's where the optics of it, I think, you know, Donald Trump and everybody else in the administration or whatever, people can have their own personal, you know, they like to see boxing. Boxing is a brutal sport as well. People come out of it messed up. Now, I'm not saying if you can't beat them, join them, but I'm just saying, you know, I agree. It was unpresidential. And I think it should have been, I do think it should not have been done on the White House lawn. And that's okay. Like I said, it's okay to feel that way about it. But at the same time, there are worse things in our societies that we allow, like the Robert, what is his name again? Manford. You know, Robert Manford. I mean, you're never going to hear this, but if you did, stop the nonsense that happens all the time. People getting benches clearing on each side. I don't care if it's justified or not. I don't watch a baseball game, Dog, to see people brawling on the field.
Yeah, only hockey is good for that.
I don't even like it in hockey, to be honest with you. And I used to love watching hockey, okay? I just don't see any point for it.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, if you can separate, and to each his own, if you don't like UFC style fighting, I do. Not because of the brutality of it sometimes and stuff like that, but because of all the technique and stuff that is employed in that arena.
Yeah. What was the guy's name that won that fight?
I have no idea. I didn't watch it. I had no interest in it.
Yeah.
So
he made some comments. And could you imagine that there were probably kids at this event? Probably. Yeah. And he says, I want to thank President Trump for having putting this on. And then he turns around and says he wants to thank his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I'm like, you just said some vile words.
Yeah.
And then you want to thank Jesus. What does that make us as Christians look like?
Yeah, I think that's where it goes wrong. That's where the whole spectacle of it being on the White House lawn, I think, was bad. I don't think it should have been there. He could have went to any other place and visited and watched the fights, the sporting competition, and that would be one thing. And people will maybe not like that, and that's fine. But to have it on, that's why I was not interested in watching it. And I love UFC. I love watching UFC, but I also don't approach it. I'm not looking at it from them busting each other perspective.
I haven't watched it since it's been super commercial.
Yeah, it's gotten real bad. I don't really watch it.
I watched it in the beginning in the 90s. Yeah, that's when I used to watch it with my brother because we used to watch the Gracies fight and all that stuff. So
I used to love watching what was it, K1 competition.
Yeah,
and man, that was brutal enough.
Yeah. Oh man.
People's legs just completely get shattered.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Oh man.
Yeah. I don't watch it to see that. I watch it for the physical competition. It's like wrestling. Wrestling is not, in and of itself, like collegiate wrestling, is not a sport where you're trying to destroy the other person physically, like, blooding them up and all that.
We're just going for pins.
But it is a sport.
Yeah.
UFC is an outcrop of that kind of thing. And I'm not, again, I see Lori's point. I see people that would agree with Lori. I see the points.
And Lori, I do agree with you on that because I thought it was like, oh, this is kind of like Rome, fight in front of the emperor.
But to say that wasn't, I think we just have to keep in mind that, we had the Coliseum, because quite honestly, people have been saying this about professional sports for a long time. I mean, look at every major city that has a sports team.
It's shaped like the Coliseum.
There you go. It's nothing different.
Yeah.
People aren't dying in those competitions, of course,
Not yet.
they were.
Not yet.
Yeah. But in our society is going that way, and I think that UFC has become a spectacle that it never was intended to be, or should have been. But it's a competition like any other competition. It's a sport like any other competition, and it can be taken to extremes. It can be displayed in wrong places, in wrong ways. I think the average practitioner of any martial art type environment or combat type environment is not out there to do it to put on a show. They're out there to teach people, and healthy competition in those environments are not like what you see on the big televised. They're designed to be that spectacle, and I agree, that's not appropriate for the White House lawn. But I don't think that it's inappropriate to have UFC type competition.
And then I hate the fact that they said, "Oh, it's a gift to America," but America had to pay to watch it.
Right. Yeah.
What in Sam Hill is going on?
Yeah. Well,
it's a gift to America. Oh, like the Doge checks were supposed to be a gift to Americans.
Yeah. I never got one of those. I don't get one from Israel, and I never got one
5,000.
Yeah, I didn't get one from Israel, and I haven't got one from Doge either. So,
yeah. Did you get your tariff dividend?
Mm-mm.
No, you didn't get that either.
No, as a matter of fact, we got less money back in Texas this year than ever before.
Oh, so you didn't get the tariff money back?
I never saw anything about it.
You didn't get your $2,000 tariff check?
Nope.
Oh, yeah, me neither. Anybody out there got their $2,000 or their $5,000? So $7,000 was promised, and
like I said, for the outgo, Trump does a lot of things that I think are just not right. I don't like everything he says.
I think what he's doing right now is going to put a black eye on the midterms.
Well, when I forget which emperor it was in Rome, when they wanted to pacify the uprising in the city, what did they do? They handed out bread and had a competition. So I see the connection that you've made and others have been making. And again, when you're putting it on the White House lawn, you're turning it into something it's not.
Our good friend John Haller, kind of made that reference as well. And yeah. Oh man, John Haller, man, he's been making some real good points about Turkey, man.
Yeah, I don't agree with everything that he says, but I think he's got a very good point, because we're not told every detail. We don't know how everything exactly is going to happen. We got the big picture. So could Turkey be playing the role kind of to what John Haller talks about? Yeah, it's possible.
I mean, they built a brand new airport, so they got some kind of money.
Well, yeah. I mean, there is no doubt in my mind that if Erdogan had his way, he would definitely be in the lead.
Oh man, he wants to run things. You know that.
Yeah, I mean that's clear as mud.
Yeah. Interesting stuff happening though, bro. You got to admit that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's all kinds of interesting stuff that's happening, and we need to pay attention. But we need to, instead of focusing so much on these details, like we need to focus more on the spiritual side of things. On the current events don't the current event. I don't want to say it the wrong way. We use the Bible to interpret what's going on in the world based on what the Bible tells us is going to happen, not the other way around.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? There are some people that profess to be Christians, and Pastor Brandon and I talked about this. They won't be able to see the subliminal messaging that goes on when things like this take place.
Right.
Because they're not ready for it.
Right.
you know, and I'm just like, man, yeah, people are not ready for it. They're not ready.
Speaking of which, since we're here, you know, I know you made a comment about this, I think yesterday. Matter of fact, where did the whole thing with the white smoke coming out of that stack at the White House, one of the White House buildings, how did that get developed? Where did that come from? Because I've heard other people mention it as well about the connection with the Vatican and with Catholicism. Where did that come from? Where did that start? I just was wondering where you.
Yeah, that started in the Vatican when they would choose their pope or their.
No, I know that. I mean, but the white smoke coming out of because you made a comment about it yesterday. I think it was yesterday about the white smoke coming out of the chimney and the.
Supposedly when they got a peace deal.
Right. I was just wondering how did that all come about?
Yeah, that's what I like to know. I want to know who thought of that idea to do that at the White House.
No, what? Oh, but why did we associate it with the Vatican? I mean, I see the similarity in white smoke. The Pope's been elected, whatever kind of thing. I get that.
Black smoke, no Pope.
I was Catholic. I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, but how did that come up in discussion? I don't know where that started. I guess in discussion, because I've heard other people mention that fact too. I was just like, wow, where did that come from? Is there a connection with JD Vance? I was just curious. I don't know what.
I would say so.
Is that what you think? That's what it is?
Yeah. And okay. Did you know that PHEXF has a Crusaders cross, right? Tattooed on them.
Yeah.
That's hardcore Roman Catholic. You know that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, when people go, well, PHEXF is a strong Christian.
Well,
no.
I'm sure people look at me and go, yeah, he's not a strong Christian.
Well, actually, we can say you're a strong Christian. You don't have a Crusaders cross tattooed on your wrist, so that's good.
You don't know what tattoos I have? I have no tattoos, by the way.
I'm just really being well aware of all these people, man.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I see the connection. I just didn't know if there was some news story behind it or something like that.
No.
I mean, I get it. I get what you saw, and I was like, when I heard that, I was like, wow, that's
no. It wasn't a news story that I got it from.
Okay. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, I was like, because that stuff, man. You just start to see it subliminally, like, ooh.
Because the first question I ask is like, what's going on with? I wonder, how often does smoke come out of that stack? Has somebody seen other colors smoke out of it? I kind of like, my brain starts thinking through.
Yeah, has there been anything that we haven't seen before?
Yeah.
Out of there?
Yeah, I was wondering if that's a new thing or something, and I was like, interesting. But
or is it that now that we're getting closer to the Lord, when we dig into His Word and have these discussions, that we're starting to see things now? Well,
exactly. That was why I was curious about it. I don't know if anybody else had thought that way, but I just was like, what? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a seriously odd thing to see coming out of the White House. If the basis for it was somebody actually goes, all right, if we have a deal, we're going to put white smoke out of this chimney to signal to people.
No deal, black smoke.
Yeah, no. I'd just be curious as to what
deal or no deal.
I mean, if one day I put my fireplace in my new house, turn it on, and white smoke comes out, does that mean I'm signaling something? Maybe. Hopefully somebody says to me, hey, why is there white smoke coming out of your chimney? Okay.
Yeah, that would be a question to ask.
Especially if I have a gas chimney. Because it's a gas chimney, so.
Oh man. So your house isn't a wood burning chimney?
I think it was at one time, but they converted it over to gas. So there is it's a gas furnace or chimney.
Yeah, I love the smell of wood burning.
I do too, but it bothers my sinuses, so sometimes that's not a good thing.
Oh yeah, especially when the backfires out of the fireplace.
I don't know what it is. Smoke sometimes doesn't bother me, but a lot of
Mhm,
times it
mhm.
causes my sinuses to get really bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's just chalk it up. If we had a list of all the things that's weird about Dean, just put them over on the side.
Could it be the type of wood that's being used?
That could very well be. I don't know. I really don't know. I just know sometimes it really, really bothers me. Other times, not so much.
Because if it's a certain type of wood from a certain tree that's being used,
Yeah.
it would. I get irritated with that too. Like if it's an allergen or something, I'm like, what in the world? So that's why I asked.
Yeah. That was just one of those things that where it was like, I wonder where he got that from. I was just curious. And I figured, if you talked about it yesterday, we could talk about it today. You talked about it on air. I was like, what?
Yeah. You're probably like, where in the world did he get that idea from?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't because I was like, well, it was because I just wanted to understand what the background was. Like, what prompted you to talk about that, and how did you, why did you key in on that particular thing? And I'm not saying it's wrong or right. I'm just saying I just wondered what prompted it.
Yeah, especially by you being a former Catholic, you're like,
Yeah, because honestly, I would have looked at that and went, I would have not even focused on it, to be honest with you, because it's just it's a smokestack. I would have just went, oh, okay, there's what they got the furnace on. I'm not saying wrong or right. I'm just saying that I wouldn't even have noticed it,
Oh man, yeah, that was weird. And then there was a chance of rain that day.
I'd be very curious to see how many times people have noticed in photos on previous occasions, and if those photos were attached to any significance, like i.e. what was going on at the time in the White House, because maybe there would be a connection there, but I don't know if that's stretching it or not. But it would be interesting to see if there's a history of white smoke in photos, and then you come up with, well, when this thing happened, there was not any white smoke, but then when this thing over here happened, all of a sudden there's white smoke, and there's a trend of that. Then you can go like, okay, wait a minute, somebody's trying to send a message.
Yeah, and it was pretty blunt.
Yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, I mean, it's like the symbolism in all the in artwork or in movies or in signs and things that you're gonna see that stuff more. The more in tune you become with the word, the more you're in the word, I think. So
yeah, I think we just become more well aware of what's in our surroundings.
Yeah,
that the average person is not going to be able to notice.
Yeah, like the whole. I noticed what was being talked about in chat, and they talk about Pete Hicks, and he mentioned with the specific type of cross that he has tattooed on him. That says something. Now,
and he has two of them, not just one.
It's like that idiot in. And yes, I said idiot. The idiot in Maine? I think it is that guy that got elected for their state senator or as a representative. I don't know, but anyway, that had the
Nazi symbol,
the Nazi death head symbol.
Yeah.
Do people get tattoos that have no idea what it means? Oh, absolutely. I mean, just seriously, people get Chinese tattoos, words, tattooed on wherever, right? And they say it means one thing, and then Chinese people are like, no, that's not what it means. It actually means something really stupid, and it just looks ridiculous. But because somebody said, hey, this is a great tattoo of Chinese letters, the actual Chinese letters, right? People get all kinds of stupid tattoos that they'd have no idea what they mean.
Yep.
Now, if you're telling me that a guy in the military gets a tattoo because it looks really cool and they have no idea on what it means, I don't know. I'm going to say 50-50 on that. I see a lot of civilians get stupid tattoos kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But if you're in the military and you get a death, if you get a skull and crossbones of any kind as a tattoo and you're not aware of it, somebody needs to talk to you And if you are aware of it and you get it anyway, somebody needs to talk to you. Do people change? Sure. Do people make mistakes? Sure. But I think it's how you respond to it when you're called out on it.
Yeah.
You know, if the guy had come out and said, you know what? Yeah. Back in the day when I got that tattoo, I was into this, and that, and I made a mistake and I got it. And I, you know.
Yeah. And I'd be like, well, if you know what it's all about now, once you get that thing lasered off.
And there could be that could be a very legitimate question because they can do that these days. So yeah, and you know, again, with Pete Hegseth, he, you know, like Lori
I call him Warmonger Hegseth.
Warmonger, okay. But you would call me a warmonger then in a lot of respects too, because I don't think, from my experience anyway, this is my perspective, and I could be clueless. Fair game for that. You know, I have some pretty strong opinions about those things, and I have been called a warmonger by another guy in uniform sitting in a combat zone.
No way.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not the place and time for that.
The guy was also an attorney, so you know that. I don't know if that means anything.
A lawyer. Good
but
luck.
because my opinion disagreed with his opinion.
Oh, okay.
About how things should be approached. But so everybody, you know, people could have that opinion about me just as easily. I don't know. I mean, I don't really listen to everything Pete Hegseth does. But and I think that he is, Lori Saunders mentioned that he's NAR. I think that's true.
Well, Paula White is his pastor, so yeah.
Well, Paula White, Doug Wilson, yeah. So I mean,
Doug Wilson is a racist. Did you know that?
Yeah, I've heard those things.
Yeah, it's online. You can see what he said about slavery and other things.
Oh, okay. No, I have not seen that.
Yeah,
maybe I've seen it, but I didn't. I don't recall it.
And some people we know like him. I'm like, you really like a racist?
Yeah, I don't.
You know who I'm talking about too.
I probably do. I know.
Yeah,
I know the name. I just don't recall all the.
Yeah, I just don't want to mention any names.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot there that lends to the credibility to what someone like you or Lori Saunders is saying about, you know, who Pete Hegseth is in his core being, no doubt. I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, it's entire. I don't.
Let me ask you this: should they have finished the job in Iran?
Wow. Okay. I can only answer that by separating some things. And this is, and it's not from a purely physical human perspective, military background perspective, whatever. Okay. Yes. Right. I think they should have.
Okay.
The problem that I see in this is, are you answering that question from a biblical perspective?
Right.
Okay. And that's where, in my mind anyway, at least at this moment in time, this is how I think about it, that none of us know. Okay. So the question, like, people will be like talking about, you know, the prophecies, and people have said, you know, like, well, who was it that said this? Somebody said, maybe it was Pastor Jack Hibbs or somebody like that, but somebody said something to the effect that, you know, the way they said it, I can't, without reading the quote, I can't express it correctly. If we had gone in and totally destroyed Iran, just flat out bombed their nuclear facilities, everything else. Even if we just said, like say we got them to capitulate, but we never put any boots on the ground. Okay, let's go from that perspective first.
Okay.
And regime change occurs. I asked this question a long time ago, but I never got an answer. And the question was, well, if based on Bible prophecy that says Iran's going to be involved in Ezekiel 38. Am I right? Am I looking at that right?
Because Iran is Persia.
Persia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then if we
Somebody's using an
post
espresso machine or something.
Yeah, my wife is actually grinding some grain for whatever she's going to make. She's I'm sorry for the background, but
I love it. I love it.
Even if we defeated and deposed and had regime change,
Mm-hmm.
okay, now you have to step back and go, okay, so we went in, we finished off Iran, right? And now they're no longer a threat to Israel or to the rest of the world. Well, what about Bible prophecy then?
That's right. Exactly.
Now, so the question you have to ask yourself is, does that mean that we're going to have maybe a peace for a little bit of time? But then how does Iran come back into the picture if Iran is now friendly to Israel and to the United States again, like they were before the revolution that Islam took over, Khomeini and everything? How do we get back to a point then? What happens? What goes so terribly wrong that Iran decides to become part of the group that attacks Israel? Because if my belief system is what the Bible says is true,
Mm-hmm.
then Iran's going to be involved.
Yep.
Well, then people say,
And it's
well,
going to be
that's,
God's hand that does it.
they say, well, that's Iran. Persia, Elam is not Iran. Okay, that's a fair point. What happens if Iran now breaks up into three different parts? There's a region, a big portion of Iran that is Kurdish in nature. You know, Iran, Turkey, Syria, Iraq, all that area. There's a whole area there that's Kurdish.
Right.
So you got Kurdish Iran. Then you have Elam, which is Persia, true Persia, Iran. Even though Persia technically controlled Iraq and a bunch of other areas.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say Persia was that Elam, or Elam, however you want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now you got Persia, you got Iran that is Kurdish, you got Iran that is the remnant of the Ayatollahs, and then you have Iran that is actually Persia, Elam, and now you got three. So could you have how then how does the bow of Elam get broken?
Exactly. And I believe that it's been stopped, and I believe God had a part in that because it's not the appointed time for all that yet.
Plus, Elam, Persia gets restored.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean,
God
that's afterwards, right?
Yep.
So everybody is so up in arms about, we should have finished off Iran.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know that that's actually the way it's supposed to go, number one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Or that's a good thing? I mean, look, my human side, my 20 years ago side, military side kind of person would say, we know, this nonsense. Because Jack Hibbs said something to the effect that we haven't won a war since World War II. Think about it.
That's true.
Vietnam,
terrible.
Korea,
terrible.
It was never an outright victory.
Iraq, terrible.
Iraq, Afghanistan,
Desert Storm, that was terrible.
Desert Storm, yeah. OEF, which are the follow-on wars.
Yep.
Okay, now Iran. I mean, I don't care if you don't agree with him, but the point is those are factual things. So
those are facts. Yep.
There's a point there. We haven't, and now here it looks like we're doing it again. So the dean from several years ago would be looking at this, going, "What in the blazes are we doing?"
Yeah.
I didn't like it when we were, in Iraq and Iran. I didn't like it during Desert Storm. We should never have. Again, what do I know about Bible prophecy? Because I can have my opinion about how things should go, but does that make me right? Absolutely. I have an opinion. And my opinion may end up tracking with whatever is going on, and things may turn out better or worse. But we have to. Then you got to look at it from that biblical perspective. Are you telling me that this is not exactly the way it's supposed to be?
Right.
I'm sorry, but I don't care if you support Donald Trump or not, but Donald Trump is not, number one, he's not the Antichrist. Number two, he is not our savior.
Yeah, he's not the Messiah, guys. Relax.
And he does a lot of things that I don't like. Okay.
Yeah. But God, at the end of the day.
But God. So, but if we apply that to say, I don't know, anything, it's either true or it isn't true. It either applies or it doesn't apply. It's either a principle of how God deals with us in his world, in his creation, or it's not. So if it applies to something that happened back in, say, the days of, Israel, the Northern Kingdom, then why does it not apply? How God doesn't change. He's always the same.
Yeah, and God is the ultimate chess master. He's the one that's moving the pieces.
Yeah, I wish people would stop using that discussion in context of Donald Trump. He's not playing 5D chess. He may be playing some moves and doing some things that he's trying to make things happen.
Marbles?
Yeah, whatever. But he's
like
not.
We used to when we were in elementary school.
Yeah, I'm so tired of that whole chess game thing because
yeah.
Literally, anybody that thinks that people are that smart, anybody in this world they're full of it. The only one playing 5D chess is God, but he already knows the outcome. So
he already checkmate already.
So technically, he doesn't even have to play 5D chess. You're just going to end up doing it the way he has allowed it to happen anyway. So,
yeah. And I tell people, man, at the end of the day, God's moving all the pawns on the board. These world leaders aren't really doing anything.
Now, again, looking back at the human side of things, do I want peace? And do I want Iran not to have a nuclear weapon? Do I want this fighting to stop?
Sure.
Absolutely. I would say that would be true of anybody throughout history. They would rather not see all the death and destruction.
Hey, bro, peace and love, bro.
Yeah, well, if you think that's what I'm all about in that sense, then
I had to imitate those guys from back in the day, right?
Yeah. The hippie movement. Yeah. The Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
Or the Jane.
I always called the Mitch McConnells. They were the hippies.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's why I said that there's really a couple of things you have to consider. If you simply look at it from the humanistic point and then get mad because of what Donald Trump's doing, well, you're forgetting about the most important part. I'm not saying you should like everything Donald Trump does. I hate that too. That people that hate Israel because of Bibi. What? I don't even like my local politicians all the time. So I don't like family members all the time.
I don't like Bibi, but I love Israel.
And that's fine. I look at it. It's not for me. It's not about like or dislike the guy because I don't know him. It's about, is he doing a better job in the sense that he's not promoting the things that the other folks that wanted to be in his position, like the ones that want to give land away to the Palestinians.
Yeah, they want to divide it.
If you want to say in that way, I like Bibi because he's standing against that. Does that mean I like everything about? I mean, come on. When are we going to get past
everything about these guys?
If I say, well, Donald Trump has done a good job, does that mean that I support everything that he does? No. Just stop it. I just think, but so it's not an easy answer. None of these conversations are easy answers until we realize that, where people will argue with this point as well, I'm sure. But where in the Bible does it say America, the United States of America specifically, are in
We're not even mentioned.
We're not mentioned, and well, people say, well, the young lions are of Tarshish are Spain and Great Britain, and they're the people that came out of Great Britain, and that may be true, but nobody has proof for it. They just have opinions and interpretations, and
a whole lot of boogery.
It's a lot of supposition or conjecture into that point. It may well be true, but as far as Bible prophecy, as far as the Bible itself, do you really think that God could not inspire one of the writers in the Bible to say, yeah, this place that's across an ocean, well beyond the Mediterranean, it's going to be called America? You mean to tell me that God could not inspire somebody to put that in the Bible if that's what he wanted us to know?
Exactly.
I mean, what was it, 400 and some years before? There's multiple things going through my head, but all the prophecies in the Bible, they're years in advance. It was what Cyrus's name was in the Bible. 400 years before he was, or something, a couple hundred years at least. So to say that we don't know all the details. We don't know how everything's going to work out. We get our confusion going when we start taking our own personal perspective and our feelings and shoving in there. Look, I mean, I absolutely would love to see us go in and just kick the living snot out of those people that did what they did to not only the Iranians and the whole Middle East since, but also to our people.
Exactly.
But
unfortunately, that's not happening right now.
But and we have to do our part, and we have to do what we think is right and stuff like that. But we have to do it in the greater context of what is God's will. Are we in God's will? Are we praying about it? Are we asking for guidance and so forth? And if we're not doing that, then it's ignoring that. We can't just ignore it when we're upset because we feel strongly about something. Just ignore what Bible prophecy says or doesn't say about any given situation.
So my thought was, they should have finished it. And then I put, on the reality side of it all, this is all biblical. All of this stuff has to take place. The stage, look, all of these people that are in power, God placed them there. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So God is the one that has already set the stage.
Yeah.
These guys are just moving when he pushes them.
Let me ask you another thing, just real quick, just to make a quick point. If you believe that God lifts people up and puts them in places of power, is that not true of us as individuals, you and I and everybody else out there? He places us where we are because that's where he wants us to be.
Yes, he wants us where we're at right now.
Now, we have some active participation in that. But so it can't just apply to the people in power, or I mean, it could if God says it only applies to, but it applies to every single one of us. It applies to all kinds of
every single one of us.
Everything.
Yeah. He knows exactly where he's putting us and where we're going to be. So,
but I really think people need to stop and think about that because nobody knows all the ramifications of where this is.
I just want to have a little moment. Hold on.
Yeah.
Nobody knows the troubles I see.
Okay. I didn't expect that, but okay.
I just wanted to have a little moment on that. I tell everybody this is not your average show. This is the conversation.
This is just the conversation. I was just, I don't know if people are still watching or not, but
I don't know. They probably fell off and this is getting.
You started out the show talking. You mentioned about the people and people making comments and chat or whatever, right? All that. It's amazing that people are so absolutely certain that they know the right answer. Not talking anything in specific, but just in general, that they have the right answer.
Man, I don't have the right answers. Hey, if I were right man, what's the use of being on Earth?
Yeah.
That means my work is done.
So some of the attacks that I see at people, whether it's James's chat or your chat or anyone else's chat, and believe it or not, I try to stay out of chats as much as possible.
Yeah, I really don't too much. I mean, I'll say hello to everybody, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm like, I don't got time to get into it with people. I don't got that kind of time.
I just don't even want to anymore. It's. I mean, yeah, I do say things that coming against what people are saying, but I think people misunderstand. Sometimes I think people will go like, well, they're thinking, well, he's just so against this and that and whatever. It's like, no, you don't understand. You're causing this environment to become toxic and heated, and people are going to start responding in because they're going to feel like you're attacking them, and that's the problem that I don't want to be encouraging or allowing to happen in the chat. And that's why I don't watch it in any other. I don't tend to watch chat too much in the other places that I do watch, because I don't have any control over it at that point. And it's like, I don't want to get into a 250 character limit.
I don't watch podcasts
discussion.
to get into arguments with people.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't do that.
If you don't like what the person is saying, or you don't look, my wife and I are talked about this quite a bit and off and on over the time frame, and it's like, okay, if you don't like something, just move on. Go find. I mean, there are people out there that, I'm not going to say any names, but there are people that a lot of people in chat will like watching. I don't watch them. Why? Because I don't like them? No. I actually agree with what they say. I like what they have to say. I may not agree with everything, but I like what they have to say. It comes down to personal preference on the style and all that. If I'm not getting, if it's, I don't know how to express it, but it really is just personal preference. If you don't agree with somebody, or you don't like their presentation style or whatever, fine, move on.
Yeah, there's no need to go lambasting them about it. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, there's no need.
I mean, I don't even understand why people don't understand. Somebody, I forget who it was, but somebody made a good comment today in James's chat. They're like, if you would just start your, and I didn't say this, it was somebody else. They just said, if you would just start your, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact comment, but if you would start your comment off with the I think, or in my opinion, or I believe, it's not an attack. You're just making a personal statement. That would be a lot less toxic in the chat. I mean, the chat is supposed to be uplifting. It's supposed to be encouraging. It's supposed to be supportive. It's supposed to be, you can ask questions and you can make comments, right? You can have different opinions, but it's how you put those comments in there, how you say those things that matters.
I'm like, man, if you have nothing uplifting to leave in the comment section before or after the broadcast, don't leave a comment. Don't leave a comment.
Oh my
Please
goodness.
Don't waste your time and leave a comment.
Yeah. Why do people feel that it's like, what do you think is going to, do you honestly believe that your 1 sentence, 10 sentence comment about what you think and what you believe is going to change anyone's opinion, especially if you're attacking them? Those of us who take the time to reflect on things might do that, but that doesn't change the fact that we're probably, if we do change, it's not going to be because of you. It's going to be because of the Holy Spirit convicts us to change.
For sure. Yep.
And maybe maybe you had an impact, and that's fine. But it just, most of the time, I'd say 99% of the time, the comments that are left that are just nasty are just pointless. It's like a narcissist going, look at me, 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 look at me. I got something to say I know what I'm talking about. You don't. Really? Go out and start your own show.
Start your own broadcast or podcast.
I just don't get it. But that's the world we're in. And so, I can only imagine the comments that people could make about what I've said here today, and I don't know everything. I don't remember everything. There are things that I forget that are germane to the points that I make, and I might say something backwards once in a while, but you yelling at me is certainly not going to make a difference.
Exactly. Yeah. It doesn't make a difference whatsoever. And I'm just like, man, be civil. And especially if you're calling yourself a believer too. Like, show some integrity.
Yeah.
People says, well, I'm newly transformed. And then they'll just go out and just rattle on you. I'm like, whoa, I thought you were newly transformed and you're just going rogue. Whoa, what's going on here?
Well, you try to give people, what's funny is, and especially in Pastor James's, during his shows, every time I try to give somebody a little bit of room, okay, it's funny because I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna give this person a little bit of grace. I'm gonna let them. I might time them out for a lesser amount of time, or I might say something and just kind of see how they're going to respond to it. And then James comes in. He happens to see. It's like, you guys don't think he's watching a chat. Pay attention. He'll come in and actually remove somebody from the channel.
Yeah, he looks at everything.
And I'm like, okay, dude, I kind of I have to not take it personally, because I do take what I do when I mod. I take it personally because I'm there to support the channel. It doesn't really matter whether I agree with everything. As a mod, I shouldn't be commenting on the what you have to say, because I'm not there. If I disagree with you that badly, okay, then I shouldn't be a mod on your channel.
Mm-hmm.
It's called, I don't know, it's simple. It's just a certain amount of respect. You've given me control to a certain extent of what happens in your chat that affects your channel. I have a responsibility to live up to that. Is there anything that says I have to? Absolutely not. I think it's an implied versus an implicit, something that's written in writing that you agreed to. It's an implied kind of situation. I have a responsibility to your show, to not allow people to be complete jerks and attack each other in the chat, so that your channel doesn't get hit for that kind of thing, and that people don't leave, because more often people leave because they don't like what's being going on in the chat, the nastiness, and you never hear about it. So we're trying to protect people in that sense, right? It doesn't. You don't even have to like what the person is saying. I don't know why you would be there as a mod if you don't like what somebody's saying, but that's me.
Amen.
It's just how I look at things. But it's so narcissistic for some. I still to this day, I don't go to other people's shows and go in the chat and go, "You're full of this. You don't know what you're talking about. You need to." I love it when people say, "You need to read your Bible, James."
Here's the deal.
Seriously?
Yeah, right.
What? Yes, he could be wrong. Nobody's perfect. But come on, really?
Unfortunately, that's always going to happen. But I always have to remember too, we're ambassadors. We're ambassadors for Jesus, and we have to hold our candle to a higher level.
And I think to add on to what you just said, I absolutely agree. However, that for people out there to think that means I should never talk back to somebody who's being derogatory or toxic, wrong.
Exactly. Thank you.
This nonsense that and I'm sorry, but I think it's nonsense that Jesus was just peaceful. I think that's nonsense.
He came with a sword.
What did he say? He didn't come to
he came to divide.
He came to divide, right? there's so many things that can be said about that. And he's like, well, yeah, but he did all these things and he was so loving and kind and this and that. Okay, yeah. You're right. But there's more to the story.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Dude,
think people
also flip
forget that.
tables.
Really, what do you say about a guy flipping over tables?
Yeah.
That seems harsh. That's not loving.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? You know, Vin Dog, you talk about getting your bun stung.
Yeah.
It seemed harsh, but would it have been loving to let you just go on your way and do the things that weren't right?
I think my parents did the loving thing and discipline the situation.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. It's not to say that every time that people discipline their children, they're doing it the right way or for the right reasons. People make mistakes. Yeah.
I used to hear my parents say, it's going to hurt me more than it hurts you. Now I believe it.
Yeah. But the fact is that love does protect you from harm.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't understand why.
Trust
people
me,
just
I've been
can't.
spanked by the Lord many of times, brother.
You know, if you don't, yeah, we all have, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's whether you respond or not, I guess.
Yeah.
But to make comments, I've never felt the need to tell somebody how wrong they were in chat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I may have said things that people would take that way, but it was never my intention. Things could be misunderstood.
Oh yeah, things could be misconstrued when it comes to text. Yeah. So,
and just putting I disagree, or when you say you disagree with something or whatever, it's people don't understand this. You're not getting timed out in a chat because you have a different opinion. Because that's the first thing. Well, what can we say? Well, you can say whatever you want. Just say it nice. Just be nice about it.
Yeah.
Understand that there's a disagreement. You look at things differently. And by the way, you can contact them via email. You can contact Vin. You can contact me via. You can
contact us. No worries.
Why do you got to put it in chat?
Yeah.
I don't get that.
You'll love the conversation that we have.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you walk up to a police officer? Well, some people these days will probably walk up to a police officer.
The world we live in.
You see, that's what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I when I say I don't understand it, I do understand it. I just don't get. I don't.
Oh, is it? Wow. Oh man, I didn't know it was time for dinner.
Oh, did you just get yelled at?
I just got the text.
Uh-oh. She had to text you?
Yeah. Does not.
I just look.
Does not walk into the studio when I'm on the air.
I'm sorry. I think she should walk in and throw a towel at you or something when it's time for dinner.
Or throw a tomato at me.
Yeah, just a little cherry tomato, not a big one. We don't want to hurt him.
Hilarious though, right?
Yeah. Uh-oh, Vin's getting assaulted by tomatoes. It's time to go.
Oh man. Coming up tomorrow, Revelation Wednesday. Ooh. So we're going to read through chapter 11 through, let's do 11 through 15 instead of 16 because those are going to be some long chapters, I think. But if I do 11 through 16, that will be good too. It's just how depends on how, the tiredness doesn't kick in tomorrow. Yeah. And then coming up on Monday, Mountaintop Media's very own, and also she is a chairwoman for Moms for Liberty. Leslie Sawyer joins us on Monday. She's always a fun guest to have. Leslie's cool people. Yep. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a very entertaining Monday afternoon episode.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Caitlin knows about some of the people over at Mountaintop Media that she suggested that I should have as guest on the show. Oh. Still working on that, Caitlin. Still working on it. I'm still working on it.
I think Caitlin left a little while ago. She had to go. She might not hear that.
Yeah, but she'll probably hear it later.
Okay.
I'll probably send her an email. Hey, look, I'm working on that. Yeah. Oh, man. Guys, thank you guys so much for joining us. I know we talk about other things, but we also like to have conversations. So, we just like to have regular talk. We're not sensationalist. we're just a couple of guys, just like you guys. Couple people just having a good old conversation, but we just didn't bring our lattes on the show. So, yeah.
Well, I could have brought some.
I could have done the same thing. I should have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I should have some Vindog energy bars.
Uh-oh.
Somebody might be listening to, hey, we'll make that deal with you. All right. Oh, man, this has been a good one, guys. Thank you guys very much for your support and prayers. We appreciate it very much. And hopefully you guys have a great rest of your evening or day, wherever you may be. Happy birthday to Pastor Gary McKibben.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's celebrating his birthday, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you had a good dinner. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. All right, guys, we will see you tomorrow. God bless you. And until next time, love one another, take care of each other. And keep that kindness at a high level, even if you disagree with the individual. Yeah, or if it's a family member, just don't invite them to dinner. Just kidding. God bless. Don't let the government be your daddy. You are self-governed.
Vindog Radio.